So guys, as you know, most of the Marvel comic book devotees are well aware of the Infinity Gauntlet, which was featured in Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. The Infinity Gauntlet is a weapon writers use to create a threat to a world of superheroes and superpowered weapons. But did you even know these weapons can be categorized into very efficient ones and others that are completely worthless? Take a look. First things first, let's explore those pop culture weapons that could beat the Infinity Gauntlet. The first one is the Lantern's Power Rings. The Lantern Core Power Rings are known to be one of the most powerful weapons in the universe. Each ring is powered by the strength of a specific emotion from its wielder, meaning there is no limit to how powerful they can become. The power rings grant their users a protective suit, the ability to fly, energy beams, and the ability to create solid constructs made of light. It's possible that the power rings, known as the most powerful weapon in DC's universe, could go up against Marvel's Infinity Gauntlet, which is also a powerful weapon. The second is the clear cards. The cards, seen in the Card Captor Sakura series, are similar to tarot cards and contain great power. Just like the Infinity Stones, each card has its unique ability. A confrontation can be won based on how the cards are combined and used. These clear cards are stronger than the Clow cards as they are produced from Sakura's magical talents. The cards offer Sakura the capacity to fly, adjust the climate, alter reality, and even reverse time, just like the Infinity Stones. What is most important is her inventive capacity to defeat the Gauntlet. Next is the Stormbreaker. Attendees of Avengers Infinity War had better have been prepared for what came next. Thor was armed with Stormbreaker, an Asgardian weapon strong enough to slice through deities, creatures, and the Infinity Gauntlet. Thor arrived on an already chaotic battle scene and immediately made his presence known. Then he drove his lightning axe into Thanos' chest, appearing to be the end of the battle. Unfortunately, with the Infinity Gauntlet, Thanos could alter reality up until his last breath. Then we have the Sword of Superman. The Sword of Superman is a strange concept. This was brought up in a Superman story published in 1984, but it was removed from most DC canon due to its lack of logic. Elliot S. Magan was the one who created this sword, and it was said to have been made during the Big Bang, years before Superman and Earth even existed. Its presence explains why everyone in the universe is aware of Superman and his story. The sword suddenly appears to Superman during a fight and offers him almost limitless power. However, he turns it down because he believes he is strong enough to face any challenge. Next is the Silver Crystal. As the Sailor Moon story goes on, the Sailor Senshi become increasingly more powerful with each development of their abilities. Sailor Moon, her strength originates from the Silver Crystal. This was the same power source Queen Serenity had before she passed it down to her, and it has great possibilities. Not only does it give Sailor Moon's upgrades and strikes their power, but it can also be used to revive souls and restore the ruined planet in the live-action series. This object has tremendous power, and not many fictional items can compare to it. At number 6 is the Mother Boxes. The Justice League movie highlighted the presence of Mother Boxes, and fans may recall that 3 of them joined together could effectively obliterate the Earth. Mother Boxes are, in essence, small supercomputers that possess many abilities, such as teleportation, healing, energy transmission, material transformation, controlling machinery, and even developing self-aware beings. The inhabitants of Apocalypse are the only ones who can fabricate Mother Boxes. The upper boundaries of their powers are not completely known, as they can be used to accomplish nearly anything that needs to be done, equivalent to the Infinity Gauntlet. The 7th one is the Mandarin's 10 Rings. The 10 Rings of the Mandarin, referred to as the McLuhan Rings in the comics, are similar to the Infinity Gauntlet. Just like the individual Infinity Stones that are affixed to the Gauntlet, the 10 rings each have distinct capabilities. But unlike the Gauntlet, this is owed to the fact that each one holds the spirit of an old warrior. With the rings, the user can manipulate light, darkness, and gravity, generate fire, ice, and electricity, disintegrate matter, fly, alter the air surrounding them, mentally immobilize others, and discharge sonic blasts. That is not even the entire list. If the Mandarin used his rings correctly and took Thanos unawares, he might have a chance at defeating the Mad Titan. It is not yet clear if the MCU's version of the 10 Rings operates similarly, since they are constantly used together in Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings instead of as individual pieces. So this could be one case where the weapons don't match up in the comics and the MCU. Then we have the Destroyer armor. The Destroyer in the Marvel Cinematic Universe was not particularly impressive, whereas its comic book version is far more powerful. Thor had no trouble disabling the Destroyer once he reclaimed his hammer in the initial Thor movie. In the film, the Destroyer played the role of a security robot, a roboticized protector that Odin employed to protect the Asgardian palace. In Marvel Comics, Destroyer is more complex. It's like a suit of armor that magnifies the power, speed, and combat ability of the individual wearing it. What is remarkable is that the armor's power increases with the strength of the person inside, making its power nearly infinite. On top of its physical capabilities, it can also release lethal energy beams. If an ordinary human wore the Destroyer, it might not be able to do much against the Infinity Gauntlet. However, if an Asgardian or the spirits of multiple Asgardians, as as Odin once did in the comics, were to wear it, the Destroyer's strength would be comparable to Stormbreaker. Next is the Helmet of Fate. In the DC Comics universe, the Helmet of Fate is a very influential item. It gives Dr. Fate, the representative of the Lords of Order, his abilities. Kent Nelson is the best-known wearer of the Helmet of Fate, who has very little power when not wearing it. When wearing the helmet, he can fly, become invisible, move objects with his mind, journey through time, become faster and stronger, project himself astrally, see into the future, and much more. Furthermore, Dr. Fate is one of the most powerful sorcerers in the DC universe, and has the potential to be immortal when wearing the helmet. We then have the Heart of the Universe. Marvel Comics introduced a unique universe in the series titled The End, where something greater than the Infinity Gauntlet existed, known as the Heart of the Universe. You might wonder how something more powerful than the Infinity Gauntlet, which gives its user control over reality, time, space, and minds, can exist. It is quite simple. The Infinity Gauntlet gives its wielder the power to control the universe. However, it is restricted by their imagination and concentration. The Heart of the Universe eliminates that issue and makes its user the universe itself. Having explored the powerful weapons, let's now shift the focus to the worthless ones. The first one is Harley Quinn's bat. No matter if in movies, cartoons, or comics, Harley Quinn is a beloved character. She's renowned for her gymnastics in battles and for turning everyday objects into weapons. However, the thing that fans might mainly relate to her due to the DCEU is her beloved baseball bat. This bat is nothing extraordinary. It has Harley's quirky graffiti on it and is perfect for smashing stuff, but that's all it can do. Even though she can find ingenious ways to dodge adversaries, the bat wouldn't be able to fend off teleportation, increased power, or time traveling. Furthermore, it is not strong enough to damage the Infinity Stones or the Gauntlet, so it's practically useless. Then we have the Widow's Bite. The presentation of Black Widow in both Marvel Comics and the Marvel Cinematic Universe, MCU, has some minor contrasts. However, one common thing between them is her hidden suits and her aptitude for diverse weapons. One of these weapons she utilizes very frequently against her adversaries in the MCU is the Widow's Bite. The Widow's Bite is achieved by throwing small discs that she carries on her, which deliver an electric shock to her opponents. It's almost like a taser that has been turned into tiny pellets. The charge is adequate to knock a normal human being off balance, yet electricity is not going to be much of a threat to the Infinity Stones. Black Widow would not have a chance against somebody who is controlling the Infinity Stones, except if she can outwit them. Next is Iron Man suits. Fans of Marvel can see that Iron Man suits cannot compete with the Infinity Gauntlet, since they saw Tony Stark use his most advanced armor to fight Thanos while he had the Gauntlet in Infinity War. Even though Thanos didn't have all of the Infinity Stones at that moment, it was not enough to overpower him. In addition, Iron Man's tools are the highest level of technology in the Marvel world outside of Wakanda, but they do not possess the same level of strength as one Infinity Stone, not to mention multiple of them joined together. In a one-on-one battle, Iron Man would not be able to win against someone with the Infinity Gauntlet because his suits are limited to human-made technology. No magical power from Asgardians, wizards, or time travel could help him. He only has rockets and lasers. Finally, we have Hawkeye and Green Arrow's bows. It's quite understandable why Hawkeye didn't take part in Infinity War, since it is practically impossible to defeat an omnipotent titan with a regular bow, even if it's armed with fancy trick arrows. Both Green Arrow and Hawkeye are awesome superheroes with numerous abilities, but they would find it hard to defeat Thanos, even without Infinity Stones. With the Infinity Gauntlet and its 6 most powerful objects, the Power Stone alone would be too much for them to handle. Although their bows have arrows that can cause explosions, electrocution, and entanglement, sometimes cleverness is no match for sheer strength. Anyway guys, we would love to hear your thoughts on what you think about our compilation of the pop culture weapons that could beat the Infinity Gauntlet, as well as those that are completely worthless. Also, feel free to share your thoughts on some important weapons that you feel we have missed on our list. And lastly, remember to subscribe and like our content for more like these. Cheers, and see you next time.